Izuku Midori wakes up the next day. He gets off of his bed with a depressed look on his face. He had a few horrible nightmares, or memories more so. Memories of the same moment of yesterday repeating over and over and over again. In such a short time, he have gained knowledge and informations, understanding that a kid in his age will not be able to gain, or shouldn't even be able to. Informations and understanding that people who are above 70 years old wouldn't even reach half of it. And yet here he is, with all of that knowledge. And it's as heavy as weights on his shoulders. As he stand up from his bed, Sass have already waked up before him, was waiting for Midoriya to wake up. He looked at Midoriya, and that empty look in Midoriya's eyes, as if he have lived a lifetime and a half and still is living. As he said, "Good morning, Midoriya. Today we're having an exciting day on UA again. Are you excited to meet Emily again?" As Midoriya said, "Oh, good morning, Sass. Yeah, I guess." As Midoriya, well, he looks himself in the mirror. He just cleans his face a little, slap himself a bit, just to get, wake himself up. Even though he tried to pretend to look happy, there is no hiding those black lines under his eyes, those bags. Regardless, he leaves the room, trying to sound as hopeful and cheerful as he could. As he leaves his room, saying good morning to the rest of his class, and everybody's just start having their breakfast, though Shinso notices that Midoriya seems a little off, a little tired, and maybe a little depressed. And so he asks him about it, and Midoriya answers with that he simply is just a little tired. He didn't have a good enough sleep last night. And, well, he's alright. I mean, if there is one person who can understand Midoriya's lack of sleep at the moment, it's definitely Shinso. Trying to crack a joke just to make it sound less dangerous / important. And after all of that's being said and done, Shinso did not push Midoriya to tell him the actual truth because it feels like he's lying. Regardless of it all, Midoriya and everyone else in the dorms decided to go to UA, and Midoriya started walking down the streets. As he's walking down the streets, he can see it all. He can see all of the students, what they're doing. There's that one kid who always is late for class, so he starts running with a piece of bread in his mouth. Class went A coming from the opposite side of their own dorms, and they mostly come together, but Bakugo is followed by two other people, one with yellow hair and the other with red, and many, many other details that he shouldn't be able to know, details that he now know even if he doesn't want to know them, because of the many times he's seen this happen, the many times it repeated, and the many times he went back and saw it again. He lost count a long time ago about the many times and attempts he took. It's been a month since he and Sass have met, and yet it feels like he has lived multiple lifetimes in that month. In the end, Midoriya and everyone else return to the class, and it's time for them to finally get their results from their finals. And lo and behold, Midoriya got a perfect score, not just in the general course, class, but also in the entire school of the finals, which is very impressive. The teacher congratulates Midoriya on his amazing performance. Then Shinso wondering how the hell did Midoriya do it, and Midoriya answers with, he just studied. And he did in fact study. The only difference is, while everyone had a few weeks to study, Midoriya had an entire lifetime to study. Every single subject in his school, he wasn't just using this miraculous for training or hero work. He was using it to learn, to adapt. Everything he could possibly have a usefulness for in life, he have learned. Or at least the ones he felt like the most important. In the end, after the class was over, the teacher have informed Midoriya that, well, eventually they're gonna have to. There is Island, and the person who gets the highest score in their general course class will gonna get a single ticket to go to Island. And Midoriya, well, that was a little happy. He was happy about it. He loved Island, and to have the chance to go to it, he's not gonna, well, waste it. And so eventually the teacher told him that he'll gonna send him the invitation by the end of the school day. With that being all said, everyone goes to the cafeteria. Still, some people try to talk to Midoriya, though Shinso is the one who tries the most. But eventually they arrive, and Midoriya doesn't feel like the talking mood today. Well, that wouldn't stop the person who came jumping at him from behind, hugging him, saying, "Izoku!" as Midoriya turns around to see Emily, with the excitement of a toddler in her eyes, saying, "Guess who just, what, succeeded in their finals?" As Midoriya looks at her, saying, "You passed?" And she just, holds her paper, saying, "And I aced it." And Midoriya's happy. She actually aced it. This is one news he can really, really be happy about. For a second there, he forgot everything about what happened with him the last night. Regardless, Emily started going on a tantrum, saying that it was simple. The written portion was simply good, thanks to Midoriya, but then they had the physical exam, and she had to fight against All Might with Katsuki, and then she used her power for once and all of that, and Midoriya just listens to her. All that she's saying, it warms his heart, but the realization that he's lying to her also dawns on him. Emily continues saying, "But seriously, thank you for the help. I don't think I would have succeeded if it wasn't for you." And Midoriya said, "Don't worry about it. We're friends, right?" And Emily said, "Yeah, I want to make it up for you, for helping me. And so I thought, how about you come with me to Island?" And Midoriya said, "What?" And Emily continues saying, "Well, my mother got invited to the expo on Island next week, but she's obviously not gonna come because she has to deal with Moth. So I'll be coming on her behalf, and I can bring with me a guest of honor." As Midoriya said, "Well, I would like to, but, I already have a ticket." As Emily said, "Well, why don't you come with me and give the ticket to somebody else?" And Midoriya said, "Well, he thinks about it for a minute. There really isn't much of his class that will gonna come. Actually, it will be only him. Since UA system goes like this, the Hero Course students from Class 1A and Class 1B go to Island. The support course definitely are the ones that get the most usefulness out of going to Island, since it's a place for technology and quirk science and all. So the entire class of the support course also goes. As for the general course, they really don't have any usefulness of going there, so instead, the person with the highest score from their class goes." And Midoriya said, "Well, you know what? Sure. The teacher didn't assign my ticket in my name yet, so I guess I can talk to him about it. I would love to come with you." As Emily just, suddenly goes even more brightful and cheerful, saying, "Great! Well, that's good to hear. But really, thank you. You're always amazing, and, it's never fair that someone like you can't be a hero. I know for a fact you'll make an amazing hero." As Midoriya said, "Yeah, thank you. You flatter me, but you'd make an amazing hero yourself." As after a while of them just talking, and she just talking about how Midoriya is a great with her and all, and Blushing a little, eventually, Midoriya and Emily separate, return to class, and the day of the school continue as it is. Midoriya goes to the teacher and informs him that he's been invited by a different, person to go on island, and so for the teacher to give his ticket to, somebody different. And Midoriya had the decision to do so and ask who, or tell the teacher who should go in his place. So he suggested Shinso, which was a little surprising for Shinso, but he's not gonna reject it. If Midoriya is gonna go with somebody else, sure, why not? He can use some time at Island. With that being said, the school day is over, and Midoriya starts walking down the street. Emily tried to catch up with him, but Midoriya informs her that today he has a few things he wants to do, so he won't be able to study with her, and besides, the finals are already over. Why should they study anymore? Which, she was like, oh yeah, alright. As she looks a little down, and Midoriya continues saying, but I mean, we can always hang out. It doesn't just have to be studies. And Emily said, well, sure. Do you like video games? As Midoriya said, not really much of a gamer myself, but I guess I can try them. And Emily was so excited about that, so she told him, well, let's meet tomorrow at her place. Or, something like that. As Emily just runs by Midoriya and leaves. While Midoriya, he starts walking back into his dorms with the rest of his class. Eventually, he goes into his room, he changes his clothes and tells everyone that he'll be out for a few hours and he may not return until 12 a.m. or 12 in the midnight. And so everyone is wondering where is Midoriya going, and he told him that he needs to do a few errands. So Midoriya leaves the UA grounds and goes into an alleyway. He's standing there with Sass, as Sass looking at Midoriya saying, so, are you ready? And Midoriya said, how should we do this? As Sass and Midoriya start talking about how they should talk to Ladybug, Sass came into the conclusion that he will gonna go by himself, fly into Ladybug's house, and then proceed to ask her to talk with Midoriya. Of course, not revealing his identity, and hopefully she will trust him. After all, he's the wisest Kwami, and she trusted him with a lot of decisions before. As Midoriya agrees to the idea, it seems the most that makes sense. But then Sass looks down and Midoriya wonders what's with him, and Sass said, sorry. I hid this from you for a long while, but there is a possibility that after returning the miraculous, Ladybug may erase your memory completely. As Midoriya's heart stops, he starts panicking, saying, what? No, Sass, I don't want to forget you. Everything that we've been through, it's... As Sass said, I think it's for the better that you do. As Midoriya said, what do you mean? You mean everything that we went through together? All the things I've done? I don't want to just forget them. As Sass said, you want to remember them all? Every single one of them? Do you know how many times you used second chance, Izuku? As Midoriya said, I lost count at 1997. As Sass said, exactly. But you used the second chance a total of 4,576. And Midoriya said, that many? And Sass said, all of these times you used it repeatedly. Every time you're looking for the perfect timeline. I've seen so many of my wielders fall into this trap, trying to look for the perfect timeline because they can always go back in time and take a second chance. You can definitely do it all over again and there is a better outcome. You keep telling yourself that. But I never seen anyone of my old wielders so determined to find that perfect outcome as much as you. Regardless of how good an outcome is and how acceptable it is, You always strive to save everyone, even when hurts you. This is never healthy, Izuku. And because of that, you kept hurting yourself. I don't want you to hurt yourself any longer, and those memories, most of them are horrible. The many attempts that we ended up causing somebody to die just for us to go back in time. The many attempts we caused danger and pain and suffering, not to just everyone around of us, but to yourself. All of these attempts, do you really wish to remember them? As Midoriya said, of course I want to, Sass. Even though I went through all of that, it's still who I am. If I lose all of that, what will be left of me? As Sass said, I don't know. But all what I know is that's not in my control. If we're to go through this, Ladybug might erase her memory just to keep the secret of the miraculous. I'm not 100% sure, and I'll try to talk to her not to do it, but are you sure? It may be better if you just forget it. And Midoriya said, I don't want to forget it, Sass. I don't want to forget you. As Sass looks down and he's a little happy by Midoriya's answer. Even after everything they've went through, Midoriya is still determined to live the life that he now has, regardless of what outcome it may bring. And Sass said, very well. Then I shall try my hardest to convince Ladybug not to take it all away from you. Shall I go now? And Midoriya said, wait. Since this is our last night together, then let's make it count, shall we? As Sass nods and said, very well. And then Midoriya transforms. And after setting up his time loop, he proceeded to do everything he wants to. He learned everything, he forgot everything. He read every book, he burned every book. He talked to everyone and he never talked to anyone at all. He befriended everyone and he antagonizes everyone. He did everything he can do. And every time he returned, he added another one to the count. 1, 4,800, 5,000, 6,000, almost about 7,000 tries, and even maybe more. He lived an entire lifetime, even multiple of these. He trained with Sass a little more, because even though he's gonna lose to the miraculous, his dream of becoming a hero, it's still his dream. And now that he realizes he can achieve it, just even if for a moment, he's still gonna try to do so after he loses Sass. He went to his mother's house, he talked to her, he revealed his secrets to her, and then returned back in time. He talked to Emily about what happened with him. He had arrived at her house and everything, and then went back in time again. All of these little details and all of these events that never happened but still are, all of it is now within him. All these memories and time he spent with people that doesn't exist no longer. Until eventually, he finally decided that it's time to stop it. Right now, Midoriya is sitting on the top of a building watching the sunset. And as the sun finally sets and the darkness covers the entire world, he hits the snake head for the last time. 9,099. That's the number of times he did it. And now, this shall be its 10,000th try, and his last. As he does so, Sass proceeds to fly alone into Ladybug's house, while Midoriya goes in the middle of the night into a park, waiting, hiding behind a tree. When is Sass gonna arrive and what's not? Until he sees her. He sees Ladybug arriving through a portal, looking left and right in this dark park. And then, as Ladybug just looks left and right, she sees in the distance a hooded figure as he said, hi. As she gets a little defensive, but Sass is flying beside of her saying, please, Ladybug, just listen to him. I assure you, he means no harm. As, well, Midori just holding a little white napkin as Ladybug just takes a deep breath, saying, "Alright, I'll hear what you have to say." And so Midoriya and Ladybug sit on a bench as he said, "I'm happy that you're here to talk with me." As Ladybug said, "Who are you?" And Midoriya said, "Well, please don't be angry." As Ladybug said, "I promise I won't. Just tell me, who are you?" And so Midoriya takes off the mask on his face and he puts down his hoodie as he said, "Hey, Ladybug." As Ladybug suddenly stands off of the chair and her heart starts racing. You? How? When?" And Midoriya said, "Please, sit down. I'll explain everything. Please." As she looks into his face, he looks like he's almost on the verge of crying. And so, with a deep breath, she sits back down and Sass tells her that Midoriya doesn't mean any harm and everything, and so he proceeded to talk with Ladybug. He explained everything that happened with him after the day of his akumatization and what happened. He talked about a message that Moth sent to him, and he gave him this miraculous and all what follows, and he even showed the paper to her. He explained that the reason why he can use the power seemingly infinitely is because, well, he matured or trained to mature, like how the paper told him to, and everything. Ladybug reads the paper and sees that Hawkmoth just gave up the miraculous to a random kid for no reason, really? As with that all continuing, Midoriya said, "I really didn't mean to hurt anyone. I know that it was wrong for me to keep the miraculous. I know, but it's just when I had it in my hand, the only thing I could think of is my dream, and I always wanted to be a hero since I was a little, and I was gonna return it to you. I swear, it's just that even for a little while, for a short period of time, I wanted to feel like a hero." As tears start running down his face, while continuing saying, "I know this is maybe selfish of me, and I know that it's illegal and I'm technically a criminal, but please, Ladybug." As he stands up and then bows in front of her, saying, "Please, can you keep this a secret? I don't want my mother to know about this. Even if, everything else may turn horrible, her heart cannot take another scare like this. I already hurted her so much. You can punch me however you want, but please keep my mother out of it and keep the secret between us. Please." As, Ladybug just looks at Midoriya, his eyes on the verge of tears, and he's just begging. And yet, he talks about worrying about his mother instead of himself, about the miraculous and all. As Ladybug told him, "Sit back down." And so Midoriya sits back down, and Ladybug said, "Tiki, Spot's off." And then Tiki arrives and shows up as she says hi to Sass, and Sass said, "Good to see you again, Tiki." And, Ladybug proceeds to talk, or Marinette proceeds to talk. She looks at Sass saying, "Sass, what do you think about Midoriya?" As Sass said, "Midoriya?" As he looks over his shoulder at Midoriya, and he proceeds to say, "In comparison to every other wielder I've ever met, he is the most determined, and he is the most greatest miraculous user I've had. And if I ever have a second chance on one of my old wielders, I will choose him every time. Because he is the greatest I've ever been paired up with." And Midoriya's eyes now just fly with tears, hearing Sass talk so highly about him. As Marinette said, "Is that so?" As Sass said, "And that's why I wish of you not to erase his memories, Ladybug. I don't want him to forget about me. We're friends. We're not just user and it's Kwame. At first, I simply just expected everything to be like that, but the more I spent time with him, the more I realized how great of a hero he could be. Please, for my sake, and for the sake of the rest of the Kwamis, can you spare him? he can keep a secret, I swear. As Ladybug said, how many times did you have this conversation exactly? As she looks at Midoriya, and Midoriya looks at her saying, I didn't set a time loop by, beforehand. I promised that I won't. Whatever happened tonight is permanent. And Ladybug said, very well, as she puts her hand forward to Midoriya. And Midoriya looks at his wrist, the bracelet on his hand, and he takes it off and hands it over. As he said, Sass, I renounce you. As Sass flies back to the bracelet after giving Midoriya one final hug, saying, no matter what happens, know that you'll always have a chance to make things better. As he flies into the bracelet after saying his goodbye, and Marinette closes the bracelet and puts it through inside of her yo-yo after transforming and de-transforming again, sending it back into the miracle box. And Midoriya looks at Ladybug as he said, are you gonna... As she said, you're a good kid, Izuku Midoriya. I wouldn't want to hurt my daughter's friend. And maybe when all of that is said and done, maybe one day you can get this miraculous back. As Midoriya said, oh, really? As she said, once I get rid of Moth and all of that danger is over with, we can work something out. What do you say? Would you want to become the user of Sass once more? As Midoriya said, absolutely. Yes, of course. As Ladybug said, very well. Now you can go back home. Your friends are waiting for you, aren't they? As Midoriya said, as he just goes and hugs her. As Ladybug is surprised by this sudden feeling of affection, as he said, thank you. I swear, I'm sorry about last night and everything. Just thank you. As Ladybug feels off. She have never been hugged, and for a second that bring tears to her eye, remembering the last time her own daughter ever hugged her. And so she just pets him on his back and said, there. Okay, now go back to your... Actually, how about I open a portal for you? As she just opens a portal for him in front of UA. After Midoriya steps through it, he returns to his dorms. He meets with the rest of his class. They are already all asleep, so he goes to his room and just goes to his bed. He leans on his bed with one hand on top of his forehead and staring into the ceiling while staring at his hand, at his wrist. And now this place seems silent, deadly silent. Was it always this silent? And as he stares into his wrist, he feels like there's something missing, a part of him that now has been lost. And even though he feels all happy that everything worked out in the end, he couldn't help but let his tears fall. He misses Sass already dearly. All this time he spent with him and now it's all gone. He started crying himself to sleep. Or at least that's what it would have been if it wasn't for the noise of something appearing in his room, as he sees a dog with 8 eyes staring at him. Midoriya goes into the corner of his bed, but the dog is not moving. And then the dog just steps through a shadow, and the shadow is still as open, as he wonders if the dog wants him to go after him, and eventually the dog did. As Midoriya steps through the shadow with the dog, and he finds himself in a dark, empty void, staring at the dog in the distance, and now he wonders, what is this all about? And it seems that tonight is not over yet.